Hey up everybody, welcome back to the Audio Cycling Podcast YouTube channel, mixture of the two. Today covering the big one, the Ronde van Vlaanderen, the Tour of Flanders. I saw something that said that people are like, if you don't call it the Ronde van Vlaanderen then you're not a pro. And it's like, what? Okay, whatever you want to say, old guard. But so we're talking about it because we are just laid back and we kind of know what we're talking about. We've got a camera now, which I think should work. So just bear with. Tour of Flanders cam, 260 odd K. It's Bergy, cobbles. Everybody's all excited because there's no Roubaix. You know, we got Van der Poel, Wout, De Koenig. I'm not necessarily just going to say Alaphilippe because he'll run into the back of a motorbike again, knowing him. I mean, it's been a lot of build-up. Ghent, Dwars and E3. Are you looking forward to it?
100%. As you know, my favourite race on the calendar. A lot of people would think Paris-Roubaix.
Yep.
But I love Flanders. I think it's brilliant. And just the type of rider that wins is the sort of rider that I really like. That kind of, mid-range kind of weight. Not like a super slender guy. He's going to be a bit bigger. He's going to be punchy. He's going to be an aggressive rider.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it.
It's always very exciting. And I mean, we were going to go there for my 21st birthday.
Sad times.
And I was going for my 21st and I'm now 22. So
COVID done you dirty.
There you go. Great stuff. But I guess nobody really cares. We're going to talk about the race. So, I mean, yeah, but it's so long that it's like there's a difference between 200k, like 190k, and 250k is just massive. There's a big difference between the two. And I think the main talking point is Mathieu van der Poel, Dwars door Vlaanderen a couple of days ago. You know, that was 180k, and he pretty much just like flatlined 175k in. And I mean, you could even say he was struggling before then. It was, it was 150, 40k in, but he was really just starting to swing. He couldn't follow the moves. He just didn't look like Van der Poel pretty much. Can he recover?
Something I've just thought is, did he have a little break?
Between when?
That and when was his last race? And then when was that?
It would have been E3 his last race, which was like a week before that.
Not even that, like...
Was it on a Friday?
2 days before.
Yeah. And he didn't do Gent Velgem, and then he did Dwars door Vlaanderen. So...
Oh, yeah, my bad. Yeah, like a week before.
Yeah. I mean, it's a couple of days off, right? But there's something that just tells me that if you're, like, full on, if you're Van der Poel and you're getting spat, 150k's in, which is 100 kilometres less than what Flanders is going to be on a less hilly terrain. A couple of days off, yes, it will probably improve him, but I'm not overly confident about Van der Poel doing Van der Poel things.
I mean, I'll just throw it out there. Maybe the plan was to work familiar.
Maybe.
And because he never did. He attacked once right at the top of that climb, which the commentators said, was a bit weird. But perhaps he did that for Merlier.
Yeah. That's possible.
There was never a moment where he looked like he was working for himself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah.
He did look spent.
He did look really spent after. Like, he pulled over and he was, like, head down. Didn't even pedal. Was just completely gassed.
No good.
On the contrary to that, Wout van Aert did Gent Velgem, which is 250-something kilometres, so very similar distance, but not as tricky. He looked really good. I think that out of him, Van der Poel and Alaphilippe, he's the most, secure, the most safe option. Like, who's
consistent.
He's good across the board. It's got that aerobicness to get through it. Like, the team's not crazy, but it's still a goodish team. And I saw a video today of Wout going up the... Hang on, let me just pull up the map. What was it? It was the Koppenberg, right? There was some regular Joe just riding up these cobbles, right? Wout van Aert, shit you not, was going fucking fast up this shit. Like,
where did you see the video?
Oh god, it was on Twitter. I'll send it to you. But like, shit you not, he was going up these cobbles 3 times, if not 4 times as fast as his regular person was. He was.
Was this person like a? Did he look alright or did he look crap?
They just looked like an average person.
Right.
Like no, they weren't like a sit up and beg design. Like, they weren't 80 years old just like crawling.
But they were in like Lycra and on a proper road bike.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, they were just going up just like, and Wout just came in the big ring just like.
Wout doing Wout things.
And he was just flying up that climb, and I was like, shit me. And then, of course, I mean, I'm not going to specifically say Alaphilippe, but just say De Koenig. They are without Stibar. He's not racing. So they're down to 4 people who could win, I guess, with Alaphilippe, Lampard, Asgreen, and Seneschal. Seneschal, of course, looking pretty good at Dwars Vlaanderen. Asgreen won E3. Lampard looked good at Dwars and has had punctures and other stuff in other races. Those 3 are quite good. Alaphilippe looks a little bit off it. I mean, what do you think? We, of course, shared our opinions of Alaphilippe last year in this race. You know, is he going to come in and be like, we're working for me? Or are they going to work quite well as a team?
I don't know. I think it's hard because although Eve did alright, managed to scrape 4th.
Yeah, 4th.
Like, that's not brilliant. And they kind of fucked up the whole day, in my opinion.
They seem to just be missing moves.
Yeah, and I feel like
that's just...
if they have a plan going into it, they'll want numbers because both Wout and Mathieu are there.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, they need to
So I think there's going to be like 3 of those guys in a move.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'm thinking Alaphilippe's going to be there. Asgreen's going to be there. Seneschal, Lampard. Why can't all 4 of those guys be there?
They could be. I think they've got to do an E3. They've got to send somebody early. I'm not really sure who that is. But I'm thinking you got to send them from...
I think Lampard.
I think, yeah. Maybe Asgreen as well.
Yeah,
I think that you got to go... How many did they go up with Ardè Quermont twice, I believe? Yes, they go up with Ardè Quermont twice. The first time they go up is 180 kilometres in. 60 k's from the finish. They need to send a guy there. Like, that needs to be, if not before then, like maybe even before the Ardè Quermont, like 70, 80 k's to go. They need to try send somebody to shake things up and allow the other 3 of those 4 to sit in going up, but for the rest of the time. And then when that will spend Wout van Aert and Van der Poel, who are basically their main competition, and then when they get brought back together, they need to try and send another guy. Or, you know, if they don't send another guy, at least they've wasted the energy of Wout and Van der Poel and essentially bring them back down to everybody else's normal level. Make things a bit easier, but then they have the numbers game. So I think, Lampard, Asgreen, save Alaphilippe and Seneschal. Worst comes to worst, you work for Seneschal in a sprint. Because what seems to happen in this race is that we've seen solo victors. We've seen past few years. I mean, I know last year we saw Wout and Van der Poel, but 2019 was Bettiol by himself. 2018 was Terpstra by himself. 2017 was Gilbert by himself. Sagan's come into this by himself. It's a solo victor a lot of the time. Unless it was last year, in which case it was 2 mega talents who are very inseparable. Wout could just ride away from everybody, quite frankly, and just have done with it. I think that he's strong enough to do that. Depends if...
But he also doesn't need to, I don't think.
No, he's strong enough in a sprint to take everybody else.
I think if Matthew's there,
Yeah.
he'll attack. But then again, he attacked last time and got rolled and got countered.
That's
Maybe
true.
he doesn't want to attack.
Yeah, I think he's certainly thinking about that. But maybe Wout's thinking, okay, he can taste a bit of blood and see, okay, maybe Van der Poel's not looking great. Maybe he tries attacking on the first time up the Yard of Quermont with, 60k's to go. Because he wants to see how Van der Poel's going. And if he sees that he's sliding down the group a bit, maybe he's a bit more confident in his ability. And then maybe he'll attack again and try and drop Van der Poel. Because if he just drags Van der Poel to the line, he knows that he probably, there's a higher chance that Van der Poel's going to win, of course. But, so, I think a lot of this is going to dictate on how De Koenig play it early on, with about 2 hours of racing left to go, how Van der Poel is feeling, and how Wout responds mainly. I think it all dictates quite a lot on how Wout is, because Wout and Van der Poel look at each other a lot. But, I think there's obviously, I've seen, there's something that Ollie Nason said, it's not all about Wout and Van der Poel, and yes, it's not, so let's talk about some other people.
Well, let's talk about Bora Hansgrohe. And they finally brought Peter Sagan and Nils Pollitt to one race.
Yes, they've finally managed to do it, everybody. Do you remember back when was it? Last year, Nils Pollitt's coming to Bora. Oh, yes. Sagan and Pollitt together in harmony. Oh, yes. Sagan's going to win more. And, this is literally their first cobbled race together. What? Right. All right. Better late than never. Sagan. I'm telling you right now, Sagan is finishing 6th place.
You reckon?
That's where he's finishing. Because he's going to be in that group behind the solo or duo, whatever, pair that go off. And he's going to finish somewhere in the upper part of the sprint behind.
He's not winning the sprint behind because that'll be Christoph.
Of course. It's just there's a couple of certain things in life, and that's one of them. Sagan will beat up there, but I don't think he'll win. But I hope that he does okay. Pollitt looked okay at Dwasdor's Vlaanderen, but, how the hell is he going to get away from other people? And then, he's certainly, a candidate to win, but I'm not too sure about it. Stuyven, I think, looks super good at Dwasdor's Vlaanderen. He did that. God, remember that? He attacked and Campenaerts was full on just dying.
We just wanted Campenaerts to
do one.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Campenaerts, bloody bastard. Honestly, man, he was just covering moves when he started attacking with 3K skirts. Mate, your strategy is so shit. Just what are you doing? Just stop pestering. Okay. Ugh. Yeah, Stuyven looked good. Looked like he was just actually cruising around a lot. I didn't really see him grimacing overly. I think that he looks super good. I think this could be his highest finishing in Ronde van Vlaanderen. I think he's finished 7th before, but I think he could finish higher. I think that he could, on a good day, he could follow, or he'll be slightly gapped by Wout on an attack. But I do think that he's good enough to maybe follow Wout on an attack. Bold, but possible. Especially since he missed Gent Wevelgem. And he looks to just be on that upward trend. But of course, Christoph, like we said, he'll more than likely finish 3rd again.
And then his teammate Trentin,
Yep.
punctured in the last race.
And crashed.
And
not
crashed.
hard,
But yeah. So is he going to want to come back and rebound and
do
it? But then has he actually got...
Trentin never really seems to go well in this race.
Really?
His highest performance is 11th, 13th, something.
Maybe it just doesn't suit him that well.
It's just weird. I think that maybe it could be very different this year. I think he's looked different. He's looked better. Yeah, how is Trentin and Christoph going to work?
Not well.
No, it probably won't.
Well, it never really does, to be fair.
No, it never really does. Oh, well.
But Bystrom, The UAE
Oh
guy.
yeah, he does look good.
He's been looking pretty good.
If he's there to actually try bring a move back for Christoph could have quite a good day, I reckon.
Mm.
Who else has looked good recently? Matthews did alright at Gent-Wevelgem and seems to turn it on for Flanders, so I'm reckoning a top 10 from him. The Van Avermaet-Nason duo. Honestly, I'm saying that Van Avermaet's looking the better of the two at the moment. Top 10 for Van Avermaet, more than likely. Could he follow the move of a Wout? Difficult to say. I think he maybe could on a very good day, and Wout on an average day. Depends how Wout is. Or a Van der Poel, whether. Setman Mark has been ill and just hasn't looked great. Tej Benoot, I don't know how he'd win, quite frankly. Colbrelli, again, alright again, Wevelgem, but not faster than... He's not faster than a Wout. He's probably not faster than a Van der Poel. He's probably not faster than a Seneschal. Or maybe he's about equal with a Seneschal, but he's not faster than a Christoph, so, well, Colbrelli fit into all this? Will he just sit in and hope for a sprint and just pray for some good positioning and other people's bad legs? That seems to be what a lot of people will be biding for, I think, including somebody like... I don't know, we've kind of gone through a lot of the names, actually.
I think Christophe Laporte showed himself to be quite the aggressive sprinter the other day. You know, could he went for it, I feel like, once really hard on the cobble climb, and then he attacked solo to get second.
Yeah, he did.
I just feel like doing those sort of efforts will he'll be able to reap the reward of that.
Yeah.
In this race, I feel it just looked like those sort of efforts are the race winning efforts that are needed.
Yeah.
And he showed it twice. I feel like he could be on for a good one.
Two other names. Mr. Consistent, Anthony Turgis.
Hell yeah.
Who's just had a series of top 10 performances in a lot of races. I mean, it's been a massive step up from Turgis to the point where, you know, he has to be, I don't know, maybe even considered for going up to a better team than Team Total Direct Energy next year if his contract's up for negotiation. I think he certainly deserves to go to a better team, somewhere with a bit more support. And of course the winner of Dwars Dos Vlaanderen the other day, Dylan van Baarle, probably the best option that Ineos have, considering that Pidcock's looked a bit off it. And that's coming from us, and we're from Yorkshire, so, you know, it's not even like bias, it's just straight fact.
Well, in fairness, I'd say it goes Van Baarle, Hayter, Pidcock.
What?
No, at the minute, on current legs.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think that's my pecking order if I'm the DS.
I mean, I said to Julian earlier, do you know where Van Baarle's finishing? 11th.
He loved it, didn't he?
Yeah. That's exactly where he's finishing. Because Van Baarle doesn't have the snap to go with a move like a Wout or a De Koning or a Stuyven or somebody like that. It's just going to fire away. He's an engine.
He's not going to be allowed to go again.
No, he's not. Which means that more than likely he's going to be sat in that sprinter group and he's going to sprint for 11th.
But then just hear me out. Van Baarle and Asgreen go up the road.
With 80 k's to go.
And never seen again.
Bloody no.
In fact, they build a 5-minute lead.
Biggest winning margin in Flanders.
But then the worst sprint ever.
Oh god, yeah. It'll be like
too lanky.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, but I definitely think that Van Baarle and Turgis.
Someone you haven't mentioned who was outstanding the other day.
No.
Warren Barguil.
It's just an absolute joke. Why? What is he doing?
Imagine
what race is he doing?
Imagine being Connor Swift, right? and you travel over from wherever in Sheffieldish area to go and do Flanders to support Barguil.
I mean, he's not here to win. All right, if Barguil wins, I'm stopping the podcast. Right, no. But like, I can get why he's coming here. He's targeting the Ardennes Classics, which start with Amstel Gold Race on the 18th, and of course at the moment it is the 2nd, which explains why he's trying to get some form in ahead of these big races. So this is essentially a form builder for him. But yeah, bloody Barguil.
Just to go back to Turgis, Milano Sanremo 10th, E3 12th, Gent-Wevelgem 9th, Dwars door Vlaanderen 8th.
He finished 4th in Flanders last year. He finished 2nd in the sprint behind Christoph, which is mental, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, some of it Julian said earlier, just nice one, Julian, if you're watching this. He said something really good, which is basically Group 2 there's always Group 1, which is a solo. Group 2 don't get organised to chase Group 1. Therefore, Group 3 comes back to Group 2, and then it's just chaos, and nobody's working at all, which just all favours the person who attacks. So basically, whoever attacks and gets solo in the last 20k, 15k, even the last, the attack up the Paterberg. I'm trying to think, Bettiol went on the Eau de Clermont. That was 20k to go. Basically, if you're solo 20k to go, that's it. Alright, you've won, pretty much. That's the race winning move. Because there's just not enough organisation behind. De Koenig will be even if De Koenig have numbers, are they going to want to bring back, they bring back the move, but then there's more than likely just a freaking Christoph at the back, ready to ruin your life. Because he's going to outsprint Seneschal 8 times out of 10. So that's tricky. I think De Koenig have got to be animating this race early on. Asgreen, Lampard, go. Some point within 80k's to go, you have got to attack early. Do an E3. Put everybody under pressure. Do it for Flanders. I mean, how far are we in right now? We're 20 odd minutes in. Nice short preview this. You're welcome, everybody. Not waffling on like a lot of people will do. I think we should try and get down to, let's give a who you think is going to win, and how you think kind of that last bit of how the race might play out. So I think that Yves Lampard is going to win. In fact, no. I want Yves Lampard to win.
Yeah.
But I don't think he will win. I think Asgreen's going to win. Because I think Asgreen's going to be the dude to attack early. And, yeah. I just want Lampard to win because he's from Flanders, and I'm like, that'll be nice.
Alright.
And I think that'll happen through Asgreen attacking early. Lack of cohesion behind. De Koenig sitting on. And therefore Asgreen wins with a 50-kilometre solo break. More than likely, De Koenig will probably attack with Lampard. It will get brought back, and then Asgreen counter-attacks with 50-odd Ks to go, goes solo for an hour and 10, hour and 20 minutes or whatever.
Alright.
I think that's how it's going to go.
Do you want to hear my rebuttal?
Yep.
I think that someone on Jumbo-Visma is going to attack, around 50k out.
Yeah.
Wout can then actually sit in, and no one from De Koenig is going to get on this move, and then they have to chase.
Yeah.
But also with this move, I feel like Ollie Nason should get on it, and then Greg can sit in.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's going to be a bit of a mix-up in strategy where these people attack
Yeah.
and then force the Koenig to chase rather than them being on the offensive, they'll be on the defensive. And then it means that Wout can sit in. Matthew might try and get, what's his name, Vermeesh up there. So he can just sit in. I bet Vermeesh will just be in the break anyway. And then that's how I imagine it going. And then it'll come down to like, what's it called? Quermont.
Bayardo Quermont.
Is that last one?
That's the second to last one.
I feel like the last one will be where it all kicks off for me. No.
The Paterberg.
Nah. Second to last one for me.
Oh, the Quermont.
I think he gets caught about there. And then Wout just freaking lights it up.
Yeah.
And then over the top of that, I imagine like 5 will go. I'm thinking like Wout, Matthew, even though he's not on great form, whatever.
Yeah.
Seneschal, Stuyven.
You think? I reckon another De Koenig's got to be in there.
Eve.
And Eve is the 5th.
Yeah. That's what I imagine. I think they're the 5 strongest in my eyes.
I think that's...
And then like there's people like Turgis.
Van Baal.
I'd even put Van Baal. I'd even put Alaphilippe in that category. Of like not Christoph, who just can't quite keep up with that punch and that acceleration. And then they'll be in the group 2 behind. And then it just depends how that goes. And then what I'm imagining is that group of 5 will go to the finish. And it's probably just going to be...
Wow.
Yes. Wout for the win.
Do you think that like Eve will attack early and just get brought back? More than likely. Because they'd have 2 in the move.
I feel like they should do a bit of like countering.
Yeah.
And not just wait until...
A sprint.
Well, like I said, that's going to go on the Quermont.
Yeah.
So they've got one more climb to go.
That's true. Whether Wout just goes again. And then just goes solo. And then
if I was them, I'd... Depending on how much impetus is in that move, I'd want to attack. Like, say, Eve attacks up the Paterberg, and then everyone's like freaking on the limit, and then they just get to the top, everyone sits up, and then Seneschal counters.
Yeah.
Around that left-hand bend.
Yeah.
Quality.
Everybody knows that left-hand bend. That's a cool scenario, that.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
a lot more inventive than mine. Just, I think somebody's going to attack, and I think we're going to make it.
Sorry, trumped you there.
That's alright. But yeah, I think we're both...
But we just want that kind of animated, exciting racing.
Yeah.
I'm hating this thing where it's like De Koenig are going to gang up on Wout and Matthew, and then Matthew and Wout can't have to chase everything down because everyone else is too soft and can't chase it. It's like,
yeah.
I hate that.
Do one. Yeah, I think you're right about the strength of like the riders that you put into that top group. Van der Poel, Wout, Eve, Stuyven, Seneschal.
We haven't mentioned Soren.
Yeah.
I know he hasn't really done anything.
Yeah,
I think he's too strong to ignore.
Yeah.
No.
He'll be in that move of Misfits.
Yeah.
He'll be in the move of Nathan Vermeersch and freaking like Nathan Van Hooydonk or something, and they'll all just be like, "What the hell do we do now? We've all been sent up here as a foil for somebody else," and then they'll all just be like, "God, what has our career come to? We're foils, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
We're good enough." And then they'll just go off and ride. Everybody, pull out your earpieces. We're going rogue.
In fairness, I feel like if there is that move that I talked about, Soren could be up in that move.
Yeah.
Because that would work for him, because I don't think he's got the pure power to get over the climbs.
Yeah.
So if he could get over if he only has to do the Paterberg with the elite, I think he could hang in.
Thing is, I don't really feel like there's much point in giving a dark horse pick, because nobody's.
We all kind of know how everyone's going.
Yeah, nobody's dark. Everybody's in a goddamn spotlight. All right, nobody is hiding under any kind of shadow to be a dark horse. All right.
Do you not even want to say like Hugo Hofstadter or something?
Yeah, go on.
He has kind of gone under the radar a little bit.
Hugo Hofstadter. Eh? No, I like Hugo Hofstadter. I think he's a good rider.
Luke Durbridge did not do terribly.
This is true.
Before.
He is not shit.
Campenarts even.
Dude, no. I swear to God, like Campenaerts is finishing 29th. That's where he's finishing. He's gonna get spat. So you're going Wout for the win.
Yes.
Right? I'm going Asgreen for the win.
Uh-huh.
Pretty bog. I feel like that's pretty bog standard. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be an interesting race to watch.
You know how you want to go for Asgreen?
Yeah.
What about Stefan Kung?
True.
Because he's basically the same person.
It's
With a bigger chin.
It's the same person. They're very similar, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Stefan Kung. I mean, he is pretty much the team leader here for FDJ. We've got Genietz here, and they would have had Jake Stewart, barring Buani's swerving. But, like, yeah, I guess Kung has got to go early, and it's over 200k, which we know automatically favours Stefan Kung.
Yeah, it's a little tick box in his criteria.
Yeah, it's like if it's plus 200 plus k, it's like Stefan Kung goes up a step. Yeah, I mean, good point. If Kung and Asgreen went away, and Van Baal, then it's freaking,
seeing the douche.
Au revoir, la douche.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I want Lampard to win, but it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. Oh, man, I don't want to end the preview, but I feel like we just kind of have to. I feel like we've run out. We've said everything we needed to say. Hopefully, people are watching, listening, take it in. If you're making a fantasy team, videos up for that. If you need advice as to who the hell you're gonna pick.
Because I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing crap.
Yeah.
So I'll be watching that video. For sure.
Well, you could just talk to me.
Well, do you know what? That's also
could just do that.
Yeah, I could just do that.
But yeah, I think if you're still here, good stuff. Look forward to Flanders. Book the day off, even though it's on a Sunday. Just don't do anything. And yeah, we'll catch you for the next race, which will be, oh my God, Basque Country. That starts in a couple of days. But yes, anyway, keep your masks on, stay safe, and we'll talk to you next time. Salut.